Okay, welcome to After Party number 9, I think, right?
Yeah, 9.
9.
Number 9.
We're going to go over sessions 27, 28, and 29. Pretty much the Goldum experience.
Yeah.
So, starting right after we had a little NKEG battle, and off to the wall.
Winter's coming.
Yep.
That's right.
I was actually thinking Pink Floyd.
Hey, that's even better.
I have to say that I very, very much enjoyed the city of Goldum. Can you guys just never leave?
It is nice in the city.
Yeah.
Luxurious,
That
really.
expensive.
So, yeah, we were, I believe what happened was we heard this deep, loud horn.
Yeah, the alarm horn.
Blowing, and yeah, well, we assumed the alarm horn, yeah, and I actually thought it was because we were invading the city.
Give ourselves too much credit.
Yeah, we were thinking a little highly of ourselves. But we eventually made it over to, followed some guards. I believe they were all running when the blaring of the horn was actually for the bull that was attacking at the makeshift wall, which I'd like to note that I didn't follow Falsey's lead there and actually get off of the wall and onto the building when attacking until right at the end, which would have saved a lot of dexterity checks.
Tactics is Falzarin's middle name.
Yeah, it was a pretty good battle. We did some climbing and falling, and I think we did some. It was a tough thing to bring down, considering we were pretty much popping arrows at it.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny about that is I had envisioned you guys coming upon the bull still on the other side of the wall.
Like matadors.
I kind of expected you guys to just kind of follow the wall until you came to a gate or somebody somewhere.
That would have been terrifying.
Yeah. Who do you think we are?
So I once again overlooked this fucking ring of jumping.
Yeah, boy.
The most mundane magical item that is used to great effect with this party.
The ring of jumping has really come in handy with walls, for sure. Well, I mean, Falzarin also...
you just need to have 20-foot walls.
That's true. I can only reach 16 feet.
Well,
so, I mean,
mage hand can go 30.
Well, you know, Gozer would bend over, I'd spring off her back, and I'd be able to reach, an extra 4 feet or something.
Yeah, that's true.
But Falzarin really figured out the bull. He figured out what was going on, what was working.
Yeah, shatter.
I think it would have taken us a lot longer without him.
We would have been screwed if we had have hit that bull at ground level, I think. Its ability to turn people into stone, see ya.
We would have been seeing the cleric either way.
Pretty nasty if it had gotten one of you guys, yeah.
Who do you think would be the...
Yeah, I don't know if we would have had the
Who
cash.
do you think would make the best statue?
Mr. Abs, obviously.
Probably goes.
Mr. Abs.
Well, its shaft would be the right height to lean on.
That's true.
You could sit on his head.
I don't know if anyone could ever budge a Gozer-sized statue,
That's
chucking
true.
statues in this episode.
Four guards on that statue. Well, I thought what was funny about that fight was Emily's comment about the thing is called a Gorgon in the monster manual. About it stopping and to have a snack in the middle of the
Oh my goodness.
So it's a little odd.
No, it was, but I was like, I want to show them that this thing eats rocks. I want to do something cool with it, so it just did it.
Well, if it had lasted one more round, Gozer was about to jump off the wall and try and land on his back.
Oh, bull riding.
But it was probably wouldn't have gone well, but that's what would happen.
No, geez, I'm glad that didn't happen because I don't know what I would have done.
So you had a yo-yo thuft with you, if I remember correctly, at the time, right? He was sort of rolled up in a rope.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where that rope came from, because I gave my one rope to Bryn, and then I magically had a second rope that I used to tie up Thuft. So I guess it's a little hand-waving.
Thuft has rope.
Thuft has a rope?
Thuft comes with his own chain.
I just imagine Thuft always on a leash, and the end of it close to Gozer at all times. So
the battle against the bull didn't scare me as a player, because I was like, we're choosing to help them to try to get something out of them, but like if this gets out of hand, we can just be like, all right guys, sorry, peace out. Like that's how I felt about it, because like we would have really been screwed, like you said, if we came up upon it and had no choice, like fighting for our own lives. We were just kind of fighting for some information, which we could have taken or left. Like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, the gore damage that thing does when it gets a running start, it's ridiculous.
Well, luckily, the only guy we really needed survived barely.
It's true.
Yeah.
So then we had a pretty good conversation about what was important to do next, and I think we finally decided on going to the temple, or to get healed, or to get Gozer. Actually, I believe it was to get Thuft healed. Was the
I think
Gozer
what
was
sealed that was the guard was like, it's on the way, it's fine. Like Leland was just like, I'll make a decision for you guys, because we always debate about where we're going.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think Shaft would have wanted to make a pit stop over to do that. He wanted to get to the mayor as soon as possible and get out of Goldum as soon as possible.
Yeah,
that was his drive. And you guys continued to have little side things. Let's go to the magic shop. Let's go to the
We're in the city for the first time in forever. We need our stuff, man.
Why did you want out so badly?
You were itching.
I don't know if that's become quite clear to everybody yet.
I have my guesses.
Yeah.
Shaft. Yeah.
But
I mean, I guess
you'll be very happy Bryn walks out with that wood elf bow, because it will come in very handy soon.
No, I mean, ultimately, I'm glad because I got the goggles, right? Which I think is going to be a big benefit. Now we can all see.
You won't need your lantern anymore.
I'm still keeping that lantern.
That has sentimental value.
Can Thuff see in the dark?
Yep.
Yeah, you were kind of left out, weren't you? So we go to the temple. There's all sorts of stuff in that. Like the way you described the walls and the artwork and all that, I liked that. That painted a pretty picture, Leland.
So as they said in the episode, it's a very posh city.
Yeah, and so I'm assuming the woman is Joaquin or whoever you mentioned.
What? Mother Celesta?
That is the deity of worship.
And she's the one that's pictured on all
Joaquin.
these. The blonde woman.
Yeah, the golden lady.
The golden lady. Sorry, I picture her.
She is the goddess of basically the goddess of commerce.
And now, Mother Celestia, she wants that money.
Yeah,
Celesta.
It's Shaft that says it wrong, not John. Come on.
I'm beginning to wonder.
It's both.
Celesta.
Shaft never gets all his names right.
Definitely both.
It works both ways. It's good. So Mother Celesta, she wasn't going to budge on the cash. She wanted the money. As a healer helping out the people who just helped the city, she didn't care. She's pretty tough.
She's getting paid to help the city.
That is true.
As by the rules and testaments of the Golden Lady, Goddess Joaquin.
Oh, okay, I see.
Interessante. Does anyone have any theories as to why Bryn was lighting candles?
I assumed it was for your dead friend.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know what the second one was for.
So you think the first one
No, you lit 3 total, didn't you?
3 total, but it was 2 different times.
Oh. No, I have one for your friend, a second one for the same friend, and a third one because you really missed your friend.
I recognized that you were doing it, but had no idea as to why.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I know why.
You do?
Well, I assume so. I assume I have all the knowledge, a lot more knowledge than the rest of the players have.
I always say I want you to remove this, and then that means that you won't remove it from the podcast. But what's my best friend's name again? I can't remember. Ciari?
Ciari, yeah.
Please cut that out. Which he's like, nope, that's staying.
Canon.
The first one was for Ciari, for sure. The second 2 were for my parents. Anyway, I don't know. I just was feeling it.
Okay.
Bryn was in a mood. She was some kind of way. Were you right, Leland?
I was, yes. But of course, I would probably have said that even if I wasn't.
That's true. Oh yeah, totally nailed it.
Well, I like Mother Celesta, but her voice quickly changed and morphed. Because we're like halfway through, I'm like, oh shit, I lost her voice. I'm like, I can't get it back. Where did it go?
That's my biggest fear. I've contemplated trying to think up and create a voice for Falzarin, but
to like all of a sudden stumble into.
Well,
it's far too late now. Just stay tuned.
Gozer's voice has been all over the place.
Stay tuned for session 32, listener, when Falzarin dies and has to make it.
Okay, that is so mean. We're coming for you, Falsey.
Falzarin's getting
Eventually.
powerful magics is what's happening. Something like
You
that.
you think
Gozer's
so?
starting to like you, so.
Yeah. Gozer's wizard.
But yeah, I would definitely screw it up and forget the voice or do a different voice or whatever.
Yeah, don't you think DMs are the ones that need all the pocket full of voices? Like, to have a character voice completely throughout would be really hard.
Well, I've heard of people saying that they, if they're the type of person who commutes for work, they just practice their voices on the commute when they're in their car by themselves or whatever.
What?
You could totally do that.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think Leland has
The
said
nice
that.
thing about there being a character voice is you know when somebody's role playing
Yes,
versus
yes.
just talking.
I mean, my voice doesn't change, but I think when I'm role playing, I do get a little bit more acty than I used to. For sure, like recording last night, I was like pounding on the desk and stuff, and then the dogs went all crazy barking and thought someone was at the door.
The wargs. You set off the wargs.
I was trying. Yeah, the little teeny 6-pound wargs.
Yeah, I think Bryn has a slight different manner to the way she speaks compared to you, Elena. Maybe some odd inflections in some different spots as you're conversing.
Or like when you decide to role play, you say the person's name, so then they know. Like I'll be like blah 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 shaft, right? And then like kind of aim it at them, and then they know. I don't know.
Right.
I think Emily and Gozer are pretty similar.
The
Indistinguishable.
voice. I mean, she said she's been all over the place, but I don't know about that. Emily, talk.
Emily, want
Emily
food
hungry.
now. Bedtime. Go sleep.
We went to Mother Celeste. There was a bit of a
Kerfuffle.
yes, yeah.
Kerfuffle?
Good word.
And then we finally got introduced to the world famous Blake Lakely.
Mayor Blake Lakely, yeah. The one.
I don't know why you guys thought it was so funny that Bryn swallowed the letter, by the way, or the note. What else was I going to do with it?
Yeah. I was going to say there's...
Put it in my
Put it in the
pocket?
pocket.
I thought you were just going to put it in your own pocket.
I don't know if we get busted at the mayor's office or
Put
something,
it in
then
your
there's
boot.
evidence in my pocket. Right?
I guess.
That's true. No,
Come on.
I
It's
guess
like
it made
when we're
sense.
kids and you eat the Trident gum wrapper because they're like, yeah, it's edible. No,
Who-
What?
So
None
what
of you
happened
guys
say again.
was...
none of you guys got talked into eating the wrapper on the Trident
What?
gum? Like it was just paper, right? Oh, I guess I was
No.
like a sucker.
There.
Oh, man.
So Gozer got pissed,
Yeah.
didn't want to wait her turn.
A little.
Knocked over the statue. Mother Celeste wrote a note to give to the guard to tell the mayor that we needed to pay for the
That can't
statue
happen. Mm-mm.
that was broken, correct? You picked the note
mouthed it.
out,
Mhm.
but when we got to... Yeah, and then ate it. And then when we got to see the mayor, the guard didn't go up with us,
No, he didn't.
right? So
No.
he didn't look at the note or have anything to do with the note, right? I think I screwed up in that episode because I didn't know you took the note from the guard, right? But I think when we were in the mayor's office, I said something about, hey, where's that note?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I realized after I said it that, oh crap, I didn't know that.
I figured you were just trying to make trouble.
Well,
So did I.
I was, because actually I thought, from my perspective, you were handed a note, and you were supposed to give it to the mayor, and I forgot that you actually picked that note. I didn't know you stole the note, so, no, that was a mistake. No, it's just that I think his character would have said, hey, where's that note? And, by the way, you
It was given
put
to
us
the
in
guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I messed up. I was listening to what was happening, and I thought Bren had the note all along. I
I
was
also
my
made a mistake similar to that later on. We can talk about it when we get there, but it was when we were in the Jiminy Eagle. It was also kind of saved, kind of caught it, and rolled with it.
Okay, well.
So Blake, we sort of went in with a bit of an attitude, and then realized that
Shaft went in
Yeah.
with an attitude. Well, I guess Bryn was
Yeah.
getting lippy
Hey.
Gozer
Yeah,
was
I
actually
think-
good.
too. Yeah, Gozer was well behaved.
Bryn was, what's the word? Imitating and mocking Blake
Whatever.
Blakely.
right.
Falzern was embarrassed.
So
of
I
Blake's
think
behavior,
She's
to be quite frank.
really not good at impressions, but really can nail Blake Blakely. So she's gonna.
Yeah, you wish you could nail Blake.
Oh, okay. Blake Blakely wants to nail Blake Blakely, alright?
That is 100% true.
No, I think Shaft was upset because we just spent all that time finally getting there to talk to the mayor, and he really had no additional information whatsoever.
He had a lot of
and was
extra
actually
information
no help.
for you. What are
He
you
was-
talking about?
No, not. He just said, "Well, I've already told you everything."
And he was going to give you a bunch of shit, but you decided to get Gozer
Yeah.
healed.
He said the paladins are searching for something. We didn't know that before.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did know. We did learn that after we started kissing his ass, I believe he started giving us a little bit more information, right?
Well, you were very standoffish with him.
Bryn
As
definitely.
you always
probably.
are in every interaction. You did the same thing with Mother Celesta. You're like threatening her with 6 fucking
Who, me?
city guards in the church. You're threatening the priest of the church with Gozer destroying the whole fucking place. Or else.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
You
No, not at all. Not at all.
and
I
Bryn
was just
both
telling
did.
her. I was just telling.
You said
I was telling her.
heal Gozer or she's fucking everything up. That's a threat.
Well, she was.
Yeah.
She was already fucking.
I
everything
realize
up.
that. But you think
And I said.
you think Mother
I
Celeste,
said,
you know how old Mother Celeste is? You think she's going to kowtow to 4 fucking punks walking into her church, wrecking her shit that the city probably paid for?
So all I was saying to her was, that statue costs far more than that 100 gold pieces that we're short.
Well, that's not...
You'd
She
be
wouldn't
better
be the
off.
one replacing
You'd be
it,
better
though,
off just
so-
healing her.
It's the principle. It's the principle. There's a cost for her services, and she's not going to bow
Are
for
we
that.
on the after party or the T-Hut
The
podcast?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel better after releasing that rant?
Sweet release.
You're lucky Celesta wasn't
Shaft
still kind to
definitely
you.
approached the mayor
Wow.
wrong. Bryn mocked a little bit. Okay, yeah. She was
A
not.
little bit.
She was also aware he was holding out on
Yeah, he-
us.
dropped your price by 1,000 gold. You just cost yourself 1,000 gold.
I don't think that 1,000 gold is gonna matter.
Well, by the end of it, he certainly loved you guys anyways.
Ultimately, we all sort of did the right thing and started kissing his ass.
Yeah, we
That
actually
was
worked
fun.
together
It
for
was
once.
so
Playing
fun.
Blake Lakely and, fluffing him up. I thought that was funny.
That could have went so wrong.
It could have, yeah, it could have.
You're
I
ripping him
rolled
off
like
right there at his
perfectly,
desk.
just kept rolling perfectly, and you guys backed me up. Which playing it was fun, and then listening back was awesome. It was one of my favorite episodes. I love it. Blake Lakely is a really funny character. Which maybe you should talk a little about Blake Lakely, Leland. I don't know if we've talked on mic about.
No, I don't think we have. Blake Lakely is a favorite NPC of mine. He and the voice. He's very much the same character in every campaign that I put him in. He actually originated from a game of Fiasco, I think it was. And that was where he was born, and he continues to live and thrive and topping RPG genres
Is
and
his
games.
personality always the same? Is he always very self-absorbed and vain?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Can't decide whether or not he wants to talk in the third person or the
Yes.
first person, flip-flop all over the place.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like Blake Lakely,
You-
and I've been
yeah,
waiting for so
you
long
knew
for you guys
he
to get
was
the
the
Goldum
mayor.
so
Yeah.
you can bust him out.
I think for finally meeting him, that was a really good scene that none of us at any moment one of us could have wrecked it, but it just worked and it was really good.
Yeah, what if we killed Blake?
Couldn't have scripted
What
it
if
better.
we killed Leland's beloved Blake Lakely?
I
Has
mean,
Blake
still a
Lakely
possibility,
ever
guys.
been killed in a campaign?
I think he actually died in that Fiasco game, but otherwise,
We
he's
could still kill him.
no,
I mean, I'm
he's
up for hire.
he's immortal.
Yeah.
RPG goals.
Yeah, so that was a good interaction. Then we went back, got healed up a little bit. Gozer had, her max hit points returned?
Gozer, well, yes, but Gozer didn't get healed. She just had
Curse lifted. Yeah.
Got restored. So she still was down on hit points at this point. Like, I'm, like, almost constantly down on hit points. Except for when we first wake up in the morning.
Are you back to your normal max yet, or no?
Normal max, yes.
Okay.
Actual up to that right now, no. Currently, where we left it, I'm
But
down.
like,
She doesn't get to the max.
you have your full max hit points available to
yeah.
you once you've successfully long rest, which maybe never.
Someday we'll get there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like the last 5 sessions have been just this one day. Like from literally from you when you left the Grung in session 24 and beginning of 25, you woke up like on the outside of the forest, right, and started trekking to Goldum, and until the end of 29, that's all one day.
One very long day.
Yeah.
And it was one recording session.
It was kind of crossed over 2 of them, I think. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, after that we went to Magic!
Shaft was
Correct?
really happy about that, eh?
I was not happy about that
He
at all.
was
Shaft did not.
dying.
But no, I knew that Falzarin really wanted to go check it out. So I agreed.
Well, and
I stood at the
you guys
door.
were looking for more of those cubes too, right?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true.
If they were going to be purchasable anywhere, it would be at Magic.
That's right. So, yeah, what did everybody pick up there?
Well, as is usual, it seems, as an ongoing trend, Falzarin gets just
Gets
Shafted.
the
shafted.
shaft.
Yeah. This time it wasn't Shaft. Actually, I don't know if Shaft has
first.
ever been the cause of me getting ripped off. It's usually a Gozer and Bryn show. But this time Thuft played a role as well.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Thuff
You
was an
didn't
innocent
get
It was
bystander.
Gozer's fault.
You didn't want that brooch anyway.
He didn't
I
ask for it.
suppose.
Thuff didn't ask for it. It was a gift
That's true.
given to him by
But he
his
didn't even
king.
acknowledge.
Remember when he got the short sword and he's like, I've never got a gift before.
I
Freaking just gave you a brooch.
I know, he totally just... I don't know, I was wrapped up in looking up stupid magic items because you
Spaced
guys
out.
continue to...
Because we kept shopping. Women be
magic.
shopping. Women.
I
women be
picture
shopping.
I picture Falzarin walking into the magic store. His eyes are big, and he's finally I get to see. He goes, "Hey, what do you have?" And then Gozer walks up. I want that. Boom. And then
Yeah,
Red walks up,
exactly
and he's
it.
he's pushed back in the corner, like, "What the hell? I just
Yeah.
I'll just wait."
Everybody puts Falsey in the
A
corner.
single tear just like slowly rolls down his cheek.
What the heck is Falzarin going to do with a brooch of intimidation? Come
That's
on.
true. I'm not likely going to try and intimidate someone. I did remember after that play session that I keep forgetting that I can craft spell scrolls, and that would have been my opportunity to buy much needed
some
components
components, yeah.
for the spell scrolls. But eventually I'll make scribble down how to cast Mage Hand on a piece of paper.
Tell us what you did get at Magic.
I finally got... Well, this is something... It's been an on and off relationship with me and the Bag of Holding.
Yeah.
When it was initially offered to me, I was like, why do I want that? I don't care about holding lots of stuff. But then, we've had some... I don't know if it's on mic or off mic. I've been kind of convinced that maybe a Bag of Holding will be useful. So, I was happy to get that.
You can put all your rocks in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only 5 pounds worth of rocks. But I also got 10 health potions, which I think will be very useful for Falzarin, given his squishiness. And I got rid of the manual of flesh golems.
Gozer doesn't currently know you have 10 health potions, does she?
Yeah, let's keep it that way.
Yeah, I guess Gozer and Bryn both don't know that.
There was some, metagaming going on
So
in
I'm
our
not...
last recording where someone wanted Falzarin's health potions, but they wouldn't have known he had any.
Oh?
I knew he had them because I was in the room when he bought them.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I either wasn't on wasn't on mic for that. Or
Well,
I'm
we
forgetting
lost
that?
all of that recording, so
Well,
Oh,
some of it.
it's
We'll get to that.
dust in the wind.
Don't remind me. Yeah, that was painful. Hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the manual flesh golems. I'm not sure if that's like.
Can't believe you got rid of that.
Well,
I can't believe it either.
Yeah.
it was a very.
It
It was something that was too powerful for me to use at the time. Although I probably. I guess I potentially could be able to use it in the near future. I don't know.
No, so you actually, I think it was on Mike. You did misspeak about the power level you needed. You need to have a 5th level spell slot,
Oh,
Which-
not be
Not
fifth
a
level.
level 5.
Yeah,
which
so
equates
that's-
to a level 9 wizard.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly,
So I'd be hanging. Yeah, I mean,
Makes sense to me to get rid of it.
Right.
What are you going to do with
on
it
the one
otherwise?
Yeah.
on the
That's
one
true.
hand, it's a really powerful thing.
But I mean,
that-
considering where you found it and whose you believe it to be, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you
I
want that
thought
on
that
you.
too.
that's the other thing is like, do I want to give it to some random shopkeep who maybe knows?
You know the owner of Magic. Come on.
Well,
That's right.
the
Yeah, we got his
owner-
name now, owner.
And if he is the same owner, he would know Isabella because he said he did.
Well,
I think.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Sardo, I don't believe he ever did. Sardo had mentioned that Izzy
Oh,
had
okay.
popped into his shop once in a while.
Okay.
I potentially just allowed for Isabella, if she's the owner of that, to get that manual back.
Kill another magic store owner.
I was gonna say if you the next city you get to and you see Magic is under new ownership, well, ooh.
Uh-oh.
So let's talk about this owner guy. Is he like? Are there multiple clones? Is there like a dimension thing where you can pop into any store where somebody's in there? Is he like at a hive mind?
We
Do you
can't-
think
we
Leland
can't
actually
look behind
knows?
the curtain?
I'm curious.
I asked, I think in the game, does he look and sound exactly like the last one that we talked
Right.
to?
He acts as if he's
And he
seen us
said
before.
yes.
And the answer was
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he made a subtle comment to Falzarin that made it seem like
He made a couple.
he
He
recalled,
made one to Gozer as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he recalled our prior interactions in a different city. So seems to me like he's one and the same.
And why wouldn't he give you his name? So weird.
There's a lot of power in a name.
That's right.
That's what he
I have
said.
I have to say that NPC's voice is like my favorite voice to do. I fucking love it.
Well.
I really like doing that voice. Like I want to make a PC that has that southern drawl.
I love the fact that he does the whole like looks at you out of the corner of his eye from the side and is like eyes you up and he's like, I think I know what would be good for you type thing. That's hilarious. It's a nice touch.
I like the cut of your jib.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
I do have a question. If Falzarin would have went in with the book, sold it up a little bit, and said, "What will you give me for it?"
Yeah.
What would you have valued that book at?
Wow. I really don't even know. Like gold wise, you mean?
Yeah, I mean he's selling it.
Yeah,
and
I'm
it's a
pretty
very
su-
powerful.
I'm pretty sure it is at least a rare item. Although the manual of flesh golems is not the most potent manual of golems you can get or that exists. So it actually may be uncommon, but yeah, I think you got a little undersold on that one a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was curious. Is it 10,000? Is it 20,000? I'm just curious as to what he would have if we would have asked the number. If Falzarin would have asked the number up front, rather than say, "Hey, well."
And I don't know how Falzarin would have known that, though.
Well, yeah,
Like,
that's
it's-
exactly-
yeah,
that's-
so
that is
the
exactly
interaction
right.
did seem like fairly smooth as far as like what we would have known as characters, so or what he would have known.
Well, and the economy is based on whatever the economy is, right?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Goldum is probably different than Zexa, and not only that, just what this world is.
Right.
I was just curious as if there was a value that you had placed on it.
I didn't have like a gold value on it, no.
Yeah, I always forget to do, and maybe I should be, maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know if Falzarin would, but I forget that I could be making use of either trying to sell things, more like Shaft does, or making checks to see if I feel like feel like I trust what people are saying. Like when I say, you know, what's this worth? What do you give me for it?
But that might be in character
insight checks
too.
are your friend. Yeah, but that's exactly right.
Yeah, I don't know if Falzarin would be the type that would be doing that all the time or not. I mean, I guess.
But the thing about an insight check is it's not really something you do in character, right?
It's an innate.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's really something that Falzarin would decide to employ.
No,
it's really just noticing the mannerisms of whomever it is you're speaking to, and picking up on maybe some subtle clues that they may be bad or good at masking or showing.
Right.
So I don't think asking to do an insight check is out of character for anybody.
Right. Yeah, because
character,
you know, in the world that we're in, characters don't do an insight check. They just have an innate ability to have varying degrees of insight.
I mean, if the magic owner has a shit poker face, then you'll be able to tell, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe he didn't even really know what you had on your hands.
Well, I mean,
right.
I still got a decent amount of stuff for it. I mean,
you got 1,000 gold worth of stuff out of it.
It's unfortunate if it had been worth 5,000 or 10,000, but at the same time, I thought of it afterwards. Like, you know, I think you made a comment about that it was probably worth a lot more than that, what I got for it.
Yeah, it would probably be somewhere between 5,000
I
to 10,000.
think Leland cackled and said you got ripped off as well. He had that evil laugh about him. I was like, dang, that's mean.
Which is okay. I mean, I took that sword in, and I was going to keep that sword and give it to somebody because it's cursed, right? And use it as something. But I thought, here's a great opportunity for me to be able to get something I need, like the goggles or the boots. So basically, I was selling it up as a great weapon, and then selling the curse as a benefit, right? And then say, this is the only two things that I want. If you don't have them, I'm out of here. Because that's all I cared about. If not, I was going to save that and use it at a different time. But that sword may be worth far more than what those goggles are. But I don't care because I want the goggles and I didn't need the sword.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, you've got the things that you wanted. So
that's true.
What the values were is irrelevant.
Well, yeah, and exactly, the manual is worth whatever you sell it for, right? I mean, if you can't find anyone else to buy it at 5,000 gold pieces, then it's not worth anything to you.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, yeah.
And, like, I was thinking, as a DM, like, you do kind of have to control how much gold is freely flowing out to the characters, because then it can break the game if they just have unimaginable amounts of wealth and can buy whatever they want to make their characters overpowered with all sorts of crazy things.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, you get all types of things you can regulate. I can regulate what he physically has in the shop, and
yeah, that's true. If the items aren't available, it doesn't matter how much gold you have.
I mean, one thing I'm hoping is that when we go to one of these magic stores, that we get presented at some point in time with something we really want that's 30 or 40,000 gold pieces or something to make Shaft want to go, I need to get some cash because I want that.
Hashtag goals, yeah.
I want that.
Right?
But
yeah,
I want
maybe
that.
I want that.
Maybe the real mystique behind magic is when you walk in, you get what you need, not what you want.
Oh.
Nah, that can't be it.
I think, I don't know how prepared you were for this magic shop, but Bryn's bow, like, she needs that. I think that's pretty sweet.
The bow is sweet, yes. But that bow I actually had in a batch of magic items for you to find somewhere else that you decided not to go. So
the cave. The goblin cave.
It was something that I was like, oh, this would be cool. And this would be great for Bryn.
That'd be cool.
Kind of thing, so.
Yeah, I like that I don't have to have it out using it in combat type thing. I just have to be attuned to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, that really
I would probably...
for all my stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say, like, you have to have it on your person.
Yes, yeah.
Right, but yeah, no, you don't have to be wielding it or whatever to get its benefit.
Here's a new sign for you, Emily. Or magic, you get what you need.
Not what you want.
You can't always get what you want.
That's right.
So something that's been kind of on the back burner for a while that I think we've talked about quite a bit, but never on mic, is the potential of having listeners write in or get in touch with us however they want to and suggest potential, maybe interesting potions that do interesting things, or interesting sword or bow or armor, boots, or whatever you can think of that have something unique that Leland can use to sell to us next time we end up at a magic.
Yeah, or find somewhere maybe.
Or, yeah, find in a chest to the side of the road that's not guarded by any bad
I like
guys.
that option better.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if Leland wants to drop chests
On a
every
silver platter,
every
please.
kilometer on the path, that'd be all right.
Big arrow pointing.
Here,
Items
here, magic items. Listener magic.
Here.
Listener magic items.
So yes, listener, we would love to hear your suggestions for magic items.
Yeah, think up something
And please
creative.
give them a drawback, because I really can't just hand out
or don't.
super powerful things. Give them like 6 drawbacks, 1 good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Like
about
one
to say, what do you
kind
mean
of
drawback?
good thing.
I will give credit to where the original idea came from. It's another RPG podcast where they do it. They primarily do it, I think, as beers that they can get when they're in the tavern.
Right, it serves more a purpose of shout outs for people that take the time to write in and kind of
Right.
Can we
yeah.
call them fans? I think we can call
It's,
people fans.
Yeah, I'm sure that you meet in a tavern are huge fans of us.
No, I mean listeners. Instead of saying listeners, it's a fan shout out. Gosh.
Anyway, yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Blake Lakely has fans.
I'm curious to hear what people can think up, what creative stuff they can think of.
Only items for Bryn, please. Thanks.
Well, after Magic. Or I guess
Well,
you
I mean,
guys
well,
kind of
there was-
split up, didn't you?
Yeah, there was a little. They went to the weapons store, I believe.
Weapons.
I decided to name that myself. Thanks.
It's actually pronounced weapons.
Yes.
From the nasally little gnome that runs the weapons.
I did like that voice.
I wonder if we could maybe do most of this shopping off mic. I don't know if it's good for the listener or not. I was thinking of that. I was like, oh, another shopping episode. The last one we had was the last Magic. I think that was session 10.
We could.
I think you
But then we
have to
wouldn't
do
have
it
that
on
voice.
mic because you don't know who's going to get stabbed. You don't know who's going to steal stuff.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's not like
We
we're
should
just
at the
going in
very
actually
least
shopping.
record it, and then it could be scrapped and condensed and summarized if it.
Well,
was
and honestly,
completely
it is a chance for us all to role play together too. Really, in a non-crises situation, really, I guess.
Yeah.
We like to create our own crises.
Yes, you do.
Theft really helped me at weapons, because apparently I got like face value for my bow. I don't remember what I paid
Yeah,
for
you
it,
totally
so I'm
did.
like, dang, I don't know. But
The Gozer was jealous of Theft after that. I didn't know how much attention you were giving him.
Yeah, you're all. Oh, stop! You're coming with me now.
Like, wait a
he
second.
did look to you to say like, King, is it okay?
He knows.
I
his place.
really was running low on gold, so like it's not like I want 2 longbows around anyway, but I was like pretty scared that I would sell my longbow and then magic would be like, well, sucks to be you, I sold it, or like the price is doubled and then I'd be screwed. So it was kind of a risk I took, but
Does he really seem that untrustworthy? I don't understand it.
The
he is
owner?
the nicest person you have met in Aspara yet,
I don't know.
except for Chucky.
If it's that I don't trust him.
Poor Chucky.
I was gonna say I don't know if it's that I don't trust him, Leland. It's that I don't trust you, because you would find
Oh,
it.
God.
You would find it interesting and funny to jack up the price on me.
I really hope Chucky's not dead, and if somebody does kill Shaft at some point in time, I want it to be
Be Chucky.
Chucky
Yeah.
comes back with no
I need to
hands.
find a Chucky quote. Need a good Chucky.
Yeah, we
Arcanist
do
quote.
need a Chucky quote.
Yeah, actually, we got to go back to the well and draw from those older episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Citizen. Yeah.
No, that's the Arcanist.
Well, they're
Stand
one,
back,
one in the
citizen.
same. One in the same people.
I can't believe I had no clue for the longest time who the Arcanist was.
Well, and we also didn't know Isabella was bad for way too long.
That
as well.
was so long ago. That feels
I'm-
ages ago.
Yeah. I'm still
crazy.
not convinced Isabella's bad.
Oh,
Really?
She's misunderstood.
Oh my gosh.
Bill.
Necromancy kind of has
She
a
has
bad
her
rap.
reasons.
Take your head out of your ass.
Yeah.
Or take her head out of Izzy's ass.
Ooh.
He just learned what flirting was, and now he's taking advantage of it.
Yeah, come on.
man.
You guys have all been in your teens at one point.
So what else happened at Weapons? Nothing else really.
Yeah, nothing. No, it's just
Kind
a
of a
pit
shopping
stop.
episode. But
Yeah.
we wanna next time we have a shopping episode, it'll have to make it to air because we're gonna have listener items. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Damn it, listener.
we have to shout out to our fans. I like to pretend I have a fan. I don't know.
I'll be your fan.
Okay.
I
thanks,
listen to
Adam.
the episodes. I can be your fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of
Yeah.
us, you know.
I can take you or leave you.
I don't have paintings of myself like
Look, Blake.
Oh, it's a lovely portrait. You look so svelte.
Yeah, I mean, we're also accepting fan art these days. Lately, there's been some fan
Oh yeah,
art
we've
floating
had
around.
a couple pieces of fan art.
Oh, I'd love to see some fan art of Blake Lakely. Oh, that would be so
Oh
good.
yeah, all right, listener. You guys gotta draw Blake Lakely. I picture like Johnny Bravo a little bit. Like
A little bit, maybe a little older.
he's older. Okay, I picture that
Yeah.
swoopy hair
Very,
and, like,
very
big
Johnny
chin
Bravo-ish.
and the
That's hilarious.
shoulders, like the triangle shape. You know,
I mean, maybe in his youth, but now he certainly has a pot belly.
he's got a pot
Yeah.
belly. Okay.
You know what? Actually, you know
Oh,
what
yeah.
what you think of the sheriff cutout from Sheriff of Nottingham, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
without,
Yeah.
but no mustache.
I was gonna say
That's
this.
not a little pot belly.
Mustache.
Yeah, and like blondish, turning white,
Double chin.
gray hair. Yeah.
Very nice.
So what do you think the people of Goldum think of Blake Lakely? I mean, the guards sort of rolled their eyes when we sort of, kissed his ass a little bit and we walked out. I believe I gave him the
They
finger.
hate him.
Yeah. So I mean, you think they hate him?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't. They are sick of his crap. I think.
He's certainly prospering, or at least it makes it appear that way based on his.
I have a feeling he gives the orders. He doesn't do the
So-
work. You know.
You know, if
Yeah,
if
so
the
they're-
citizens are not living comfortable lives, I could see how they
I don't think they are. Like
are
the city is pretty
ticked off.
disheveled on the
Yeah,
outskirts.
that he's living in the lap of luxury, and
Could he just be a figurehead and somebody else is running the town
I
behind
think
the
that's
scenes?
a possibility.
That's what I think.
Or he's a he's a pawn in a much bigger.
There's a lot going on that I haven't been able to share with the party recently.
I think it's
so I know a
possible
little
that
bit more as well.
he could just be sitting in that place and doing what he's told.
You don't think Blake Lakely has amazing business acumen, and he's just like this?
No. No.
I think he was born
Don't
into
even
a.
think about it.
I think he was born into like a legacy family of ruling.
I think there's a possibility there's something going on behind the scenes with Blake, and
Maybe.
Do tell, Mr. Abs.
Mr.
Yeah.
I don't have any more information than you guys do, but I think, I don't know.
He gave us one good piece of information, I believe, out of that whole interchange.
He gave us 4 items. I mean,
was that he did say that the paladins were searching for something.
Yeah.
That's
So
definitely new.
theoretically, I think those towers are not really a wall. I think of it as you build a tower, you power it, and then it's looking for something maybe underground, sucking all the energy out of the ground, and then when they don't find what they're looking for, like in the Falarian Forest, they just shut it down and move to a new location, and they're moving from the south to the north. That's what Shaft believes,
Yeah.
and I will bring that up in a
yeah, I
future
think
episode.
you need to propose that theory on Mike to Bryn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm getting from what he said and what he said only. That's really the only thing I think we have to go on and why these towers are there.
Yeah, and not much else really makes sense. Like,
Up to
what's
this
the point
point,
of these
yeah.
towers? I guess they do form an effective barrier because if you go, we now know that if you go near them,
Your face melts
without
off.
one of those cubes, bad stuff happens.
I mean, I picture it as your face melting off. I don't know.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
This is really a bar.
Yeah, maybe Samuel Coltis just really needs a big-ass nightlight, and he just is afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam.
Every despot has his flaw.
Right. Just wait till you get to meet him.
He's just misunderstood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, Sam Coltis is like the brains behind all this. We've only had run-ins, like we've said, with the guards and sort of grunts of the paladin. So I'm a little bit nervous to meet that dude. I don't think it'll
Could
go
be
as
just
smooth
another
as with
figurehead.
Blake. Yeah.
He could be completely insane.
Maybe it's Isabella who's the one who's turning all the gears.
Oh gosh.
And Sam.
But you said she's not bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mr.
right, yes.
Mr. She could still be good.
Well, you really don't know what they're trying to do, so it could be something good.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I think we mentioned that too.
Yeah,
We
what
could-
if they're
we
the
could be
good
bad
guys and Blake's the bad guy? Like, we don't know. I don't know.
Right. So we pretty much wrapped up by going and to the inn and
No.
falling
You
asleep
had
for the night,
Falsey
right?
talk to Izzy again.
Yes, there
Oh,
was.
that's right.
Yeah,
She
Shaft
tried to have
insisted.
it sound like it's a bad connection.
Yeah,
That was funny.
that was
You do know I created
gracefully pulled off by Falzarin.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was good role play.
And then
for
I did a
sure.
little bit of flirting with her,
Yes, Mr.
which
Abs.
she bought 100%.
Okay, quite honest. Do you honestly think that she bought, in the moment, did you
Of
think that she bought that?
course.
Wow, okay, Falzer, you and Blake have a lot more in common than I think than you think.
Before we leave the office scene real quick, you guys off mic, we decided to give Bryn inspiration, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
we
just
did.
to mention that to listener, I got inspiration for sneaking the items from behind the desk there. Yeah, it
Now,
kind of
doesn't
happened
one of us
afterwards.
have to award it? Or is it...
It's like the group's awarding it, so.
Okay, so the five check boxes are for... It's amongst all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
party.
I forget
party.
which check we're at, but I mean,
This is the first.
This is
isn't it?
technically the very first
the
one.
first that we've awarded. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that sounds good. Anyways, back
We
to
remembered.
Despite him
back
pulling
to the-
that rule 15
breaking up.
sessions ago.
Which kind of, I mean, like, what's... There would be nothing existing in this world that I would be used to using that would create static like that.
walkie-talkie.
Like, yeah, walkie-talkies, ham radios, none of that exists. But anyway,
I was very curious,
we
like,
don't need to talk about that.
Shaft, you were like so antsy to get the heck out of there and like so annoyed that
Right.
we were shopping, but then you like insisted on him calling. Like, what was Shaft's reasoning for that?
I think the listener will know. I mean, Leland, at this point, do you think we bring this up in this after party episode? Because we're not really there, right?
Not yet. I think we could now discuss. We can discuss fully your scene in end of 26, probably, right?
Well, I mean, you better be
Well,
sure.
maybe not.
Maybe you're giving us too much information.
She didn't tell that to us in these episodes. It
Yeah,
was
that's
our
true.
recording last
This
night.
is true.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. We should probably
Yeah.
do the next after
Yeah,
party.
we can
Okay,
do-
we'll
yeah,
talk.
okay.
We'll
We can
talk
do
about
that.
the ritual next after party. Yeah, why did you decide that we could stay the night though after being so antsy? Just because we needed
I think
to
I
rest.
said on mic, I think the safest place at this point is probably in town behind all the walls
Yeah.
and having guards around.
Okay,
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah.
so you started
Yeah.
spying gargoyle shadows.
I'm sure
I mean,
the
we
guards
don't
will
know
protect
about
us
that, just
from
you.
those.
Yeah, yeah, and it was on Mike Leland. It's on Mike. You were like, yeah, you're gonna get a long rest, so you might as well burn your last spell slot, Falzarin.
I did say that. To
Identify
Aldrin,
these
yeah.
items for
I
her.
did say
Like
that, yeah.
Bryn's getting
Now,
like
sorry,
a little bit
before
less
you
annoyed.
continue,
Yeah.
that is going to sound a lot worse. And like I'm setting Falsey up for something that I was not intentionally trying to do.
Plans were in motion, but you did say what you said, is all I'm saying.
Everything that happens after these episodes is strictly a result of the choices the party has made.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe more so choices that individual party members have made or
Yes.
not made.
As is usual, Falzarin is an innocent bystander that gets dragged through the mud. It's the friggin' wagon all over again.
I did use you for identification. Like, Bryn felt a little bit bad that she was, like, making you identify all this stuff, but also, like...
Did she, though?
I was paying for our hotel room, and it was not cheap. Okay? Our hotel room was not cheap.
The feather beds were quite nice.
2 feather beds.
I will admit.
The 2 feather beds.
Softest feather bed I've ever been in. Yeah, so I had the chat with Isabella, and then we went to the Jiminy Eagle.
And we identified some things.
Yeah, there were a couple of things that I identified in the Crowded Inn. And
now, when we were at the table, did we get to find more stuff that we didn't know about coming out of the bag?
No, because I took Falzarin back to our room. That's why I...
Did you guys hear that?
No, we knew about 2 things.
You know about 2 out of 4 things. Because that's when I was like, okay, we'll share a room. And it was mostly because I was trying to get Falzarin to identify these things for me.
Okay.
Like, secretly.
Yeah, I knew there was the horse and then the little rocks.
Barking stones.
Yeah, so you know about the Equinulus potion and the bag of barking stones.
Yeah, Theft almost drank the horse potion.
And then you do, in later recordings, Shaft, you guys learn about my bone earplugs. The
earplugs of the billet.
Earplugs of the billet. Because I used them. Spoilers. Anyway, I used them.
And that was kind of where I sort of started metagaming and kind of caught myself. Because I had heard that Shaft saw the shadow of a
the
gargoyle. And so when I told Bryn to put the earphones in, part of me was thinking, oh, maybe she'll hear gargoyle.
Something like on the roof or something.
But then I was like, crap, Falzarin doesn't know that. So I sort of saved it by like jumping up and down and being like, can you hear me? And
I didn't notice that.
I was hoping that...
I didn't catch that either.
No, me neither,
I was hoping that it would just stop at that and she would take them out.
Hold on. I have it specifically written down. Everyone knows about the barking stones and the badger. The only one that knows about the Inquiculus potion...
That's what I thought.
And the earplugs is me.
No,
you should.
Gozer was going to drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thuff wanted it too. I think you showed everything to everybody.
Really?
No,
yeah.
We didn't see. I don't think we saw the...
I have it written down as Falzarin only knows the...
I have that written down too.
So, what did you have, Leland?
Quinculus potion and earplugs. I identified them later. Maybe they saw them, but I don't know. Anyway.
I thought Thuft had pulled the cork out and smelled
okay,
it.
that
you're right.
is totally true, but then why do I have it written like this?
Well, that's because yeah, you were right. Falsey identified 2 things at the table and 2 things in the room. So the effects of which Shaft and Gozer don't know what all 4 of them do.
Right.
Okay,
but I believe everyone knows all 4 items exist.
Okay, well.
I thought she had kept hidden
the earplugs.
The other 2.
The earplugs I thought were hidden, but I don't...
Yeah, I'm fairly certain about the earplugs.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I hid.
I mean, it's not like we can go back and listen or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Or that, any of us did before we recorded this.
Yeah,
I did. I just have a terrible memory.
Anyway, the earplugs will come in very handy soon.
So that pretty much wraps up all those 3 recordings. Nobody have any questions or anything we want to get to? Before we're at an hour already.
Up the help action. So when we were scaling the wall originally to get into the city, and Gozer was at the bottom, everybody else was at the top, and Thuft was still unconscious, and I had him tied up in the rope, and you guys were going to pull him up, and Shaft was going to help Bryn pull him up. And by the book, somebody helping somebody else gets advantage on their roll.
Right.
But that's not what
it's not what I know. Can you read exactly what the book says? Do you have it in front of you?
I do. You can lend your aid to another creature in the completion of a task. When you take the help action, the creature you aid gains advantage on the next ability check it makes to perform the task you are helping with, provided that it makes the check before the start of your next turn. And then there's stuff about when you're fighting and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's what applies to what we were doing.
Yeah, and it does. Rules as written apply, yeah. But that's going to be more of a on-the-call thing that I do, because One, okay, so it's two people. Okay, and to use this exact example, two people pulling something on a rope. Just because one guy says, "Yeah, I'll help you," doesn't mean that they actually do help. So I look at it more as situational, the practicality of it, and whether or not trying to lift something, someone just holding a rope doesn't necessarily just help, right? That's kind of the way I look at it.
I mean, totally, ultimately, it's your call. It's what you want to have.
Right. But no, it is important to point out that that isn't as per written how the help action works. But also, you kind of look at the wording in that it does apply. Well, a lot of rulings that you read in the book does break it down into actions because it needs to apply to both combat and outside of combat situations. And sometimes in the difference between the two scenarios, something gets lost in translation, I feel, which is where interpretation comes in.
Okay.
Who was that from? Someone?
That was from Emily. That's from listener Emily.
I think there has been at least one other instance where I've done a similar thing.
With help?
Yeah, I think so.
I must not have known.
We don't know what we're talking
maybe
about.
Maybe not.
We think.
I've got one that's primarily directed at you, Leland. It's from Matt Fitzgerald on Twitter. He's asking about how you assign experience for us, strictly just on enemies that we kill or on puzzles, or I think he means like things that we solve.
Yeah.
And then he also asked about levels being defined based on total XP in the player's handbook, which I answered him and said, yeah, there's a chart that says, this much XP gets you this level and that sort of thing in the player's handbook.
Yeah, every level has an XP threshold.
So for you granting us experience, I think we've chatted about it a little bit off mic.
Yeah, it's kind of a hybrid between straight experience and doing what's called a milestone leveling system, both of which are laid out in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Okay.
Basically, if you accomplish something, that's where the milestone would come in, right? And you were awarded as such, maybe something large enough could award you an entire level. Whereas I still dole out individual experience for the monsters that you defeat and or social encounters that you handle,
right,
as well. So it's kind of a mix, and it is kind of off the cuff as I see fit. So is the way I do a lot of things.
Do we get negative experience for bad social encounters, like Celeste?
Well, I suppose theoretically,
that worked out well.
Theoretically, you could end with 0 experience,
because you took a situation and made it worse. Yeah,
or because you didn't successfully get something done or accomplished. But generally, for every kind of encounter, you guys are getting some form of experience for.
Did you guys have Emily, John, or Leland more questions?
I have something from Mike Caldwell. He says, I want to commend all of you on the amazing role-playing you did in episode 23. Elena and Emily especially did a wonderful job playing out the dream sequence and aftermath. Bill and John also stayed very true to character. John cracked me up when he said Shaft went back to sleep and wasn't interested in Gozer's dream. Typical Shaft. Bill made me burst out laughing with his line to Elena saying, well, the suspense isn't killing him, so do something.
That's a quotable right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could even tell before Elena responded, Leland had edited out a long period of silence. Hilarious.
Shush. He doesn't edit out gaps of silence. Never. Never.
He said he also has a clarification for Leland regarding cover. During the episode, Leland stated the rules correctly, but called each level the wrong thing, which could confuse listeners. Leland said there were partial, half, and full cover, minor mistake, but they're actually half, 3/4, and total.
Okay.
Just keep the wording
Right. Yeah. I knew I wasn't getting those names right, too, when I was doing them, but...
It's okay.
And I think that is something that, like I said before, I think that's something we don't take advantage of enough, or I think people tend to forget about, ducking behind a wagon or behind a wall to
or under a bed.
Yeah.
Or under a bed, yes. Exactly. So, yeah, that's something I think we need to utilize a little bit more.
Yeah.
Shaft can stand by the bed and have 3/4 cover, right?
Yeah, probably.
Depends on whether he's on the stool or not.
Well, it also depends a lot with the terrain that you guys are in, too. And it does help when I
Helps
do
me.
happen to have a roll 20 map put together for you guys to be on.
That would require us
It helps
being
visualizing.
where you want us to be. though.
Right.
And we're not constantly in desert areas.
But I mean, like Bryn, depending on what's around, you could literally duck behind something, get full cover, total cover, and then on your turn move out of that cover, fire at something, and then move right back into it, right?
Yeah,
you can break up all your actions like that. So absolutely.
Yeah. I should be doing that more than
That'd
I
be
do.
helpful for Falzarin too, because
Now you would probably
You can't disengage as a like I have bonus actions.
No,
that's not
Falzarin,
disengaging.
Falzarin, you can absolutely do the same thing. All of you can do the
Oh,
same
you
thing,
could?
right?
Oh,
Right.
really?
Disengaging
Sure.
is when you're in melee range.
I have like
Right.
the bonus action hide, so I didn't know if that's different.
Well, so taking the hide action, that would allow you to possibly get advantage on an attacker that can't see you. So that's the distinction. If you just use your movement to, like, say, move behind like a box or
Right.
Or a cart, any ranged enemy trying to hit you on the other side of that wagon, like, you would have total cover, right?
No. I draw the line at wagon. Like
Not in the wagon, behind the wagon.
Okay.
Whereas if you want to try and hide, you do need to be obscured somehow. And like if someone sees you duck behind a cart, you can't like, okay, I'm gonna hide and then try to get advantage on the next round, right? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of, I don't know. I always find the hide action is kind of weird and hard to use. But
Yeah, I haven't really used it much. Anyway, do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we have one from Jessica. She asks us, which do you enjoy more, combat stuff or storytelling and roleplay?
Roleplay.
Depends. Is Shaft pissing me off or not?
I still enjoy the roleplay.
I like attacking. I like fighting. But I think when I listen back, I like listening to the roleplay better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's roleplay where I'm doing something like Blake Lakely's Office, I loved that. Because I was like doing something while I roleplayed. I wasn't just standing there. But
I like the development of the character as things are changing and your characters grow in and new things are happening and they change throughout the adventure. You know, I think if we listen back, we're at episode 30-ish now.
mm-hmm.
If you go back and listen to the first ones again, the characters are a little different. They've changed.
I know I want to go back
Yeah.
and start listening
Yeah.
from the very beginning.
I did. Looking for quotes, I listened to 1 and 2, and it is really
Is it rough? Are they rough episodes?
Probably.
a little bit. Yeah,
Probably.
just everybody finding their character and figuring out what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, honestly,
It's interesting.
Some of my favorite moments are literally just leaning back in my chair as you guys are talking to each other in character. Like, I fucking love that.
I think, I like the role play because it's more challenging to me. It's more of it's something that I'm actively trying to get better at and growing in all the time. So I like that challenge. I certainly feel a lot more comfortable in combat. It's easier for me.
Right.
So I guess I don't know which is more fun. I do like a bit of a challenge, but the combat is fun too.
Yeah, well, I think I'm getting better at making combat more varied, at least.
I think combat, if it's more fun, like if it's a question of what's more fun, I think I have more fun in combat. But I do, like, I literally just shoot an arrow or stab with a rapier. Like, it's not as interesting.
Yeah, I think that's why for me combat is fun, because I've got all these different spells that I can pick from, and it's like, kid in a candy shop.
And, like, I sit here waiting for my turn thinking I'm going to get a hit, and then I roll and I don't hit, and that's not fun.
No, yeah.
But
Well, I think you
roleplay
can
is...
roleplay in combat too, right?
Yeah.
I jumped on the
Adding-
guy's head.
yeah.
I jumped up.
So I
and
think the
swung,
answer,
and,
if it's more fun, adding roleplay to any situation makes it more fun. So I think it's definitely, it's a role-playing game. The whole thing is you role-playing. I think that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. And I think it's also really interesting for me to see, what's this new bad guy that Leland's cooked up for us that I've never heard of before.
True.
And listening to him describe what it is that we've just stumbled upon and, figuring out what big nasty stuff it's going to try to do to us. That's exciting and entertaining and interesting too.
I am a master wordsmith.
Because
Humble, too.
Yeah.
Blake Lively is not one to be humble.
That's definitely not to take away when you get that big hit and you do massive damage
Yeah.
and you take something down. That's a thrill too.
Yeah, true.
Hey, Gil Mello just posted on Twitter he got his daughter her first character and set of dice for D&D, and she's going to be a wood elf rogue.
Yes.
Oh,
Name her Bryn. Do it.
very good.
Ugh, I hope he doesn't let her listen to this.
Oh, what?
Teacher also.
Nah, he's a
terrible.
responsible father.
Yeah.
Bryn keeps it PG, kids.
This is true.
Bryn does.
We have one more question, I guess we can finish off with. This is more so directed at Emily and John. How do you keep from metagaming? For example, when you might know the different kinds of monsters that we're running into that are being thrown at us from Leland, knowing that, this monster may have this weakness or that weakness or strength or resistance. And then more broadly, really anything about the world that you might know from playing D&D before. Do you build characters that have a bit more knowledge to make it easier? So saying that, Shaft and Gozer already kind of know these sorts of things from past experiences, so it's less metagaming. Have you guys thought about that?
Yeah, I think, Emily, you want to go first?
Well, it's easier for me than it is for you because you're the one that reads all the books and everything. I've read, D&D novels, but I haven't read a whole lot of Monster Manual and the Dungeon Master Guide and all that stuff. So I really don't know that much other than things that I have come across before. And most of those things are common things that I've come across or things we have not come across in this campaign, like dragons and whatnot. I've caught myself a few times. Gozer would say something, I'm like, oh, wait a second. Does she actually know that? Would Gozer know that she needed that cleric in order to get her hit point max back up?
Right.
The orcs, I would assume, since they're fighting all the time, they would have some kind of shaman or cleric or something, and then she would know she feels bad. Priest is the one that fixed that. That's what Gozer knows. So it is hard. It's hard to think about that, but fortunately Gozer's kind of an idiot, and so I just go with the assumption that she doesn't know much.
But I think the way I approach it is you got to realize that your character has lived a little bit and seen things in the world, right? So if it's something that I feel that maybe Shaft has experienced, I'll ask Leland, have I seen anything like this before, right? And if he says, no, you've not experienced this, then I go at it completely in the dark. I wouldn't know that fire is going to hurt it, or I wouldn't know that matter of fact, I think I brought this up before. I probably go too far the other way, so it doesn't seem like I know. So I think you just got to feel it out and make it be believable. You're telling a story in this world, and you don't want to make it too obvious that you might know something in reality.
Fortunately, Leland's been throwing stuff at us that I've never encountered before, so I really am as clueless as Gozer is about these things.
Well, you could look at the bowl, right? The bowl is a metal bowl, right? So you could surmise that we're smart enough to know, even though the only thing I have right now is to shoot it with arrows, I'm probably not doing a lot of damage to this thing.
Yeah.
But I'm also smart enough to know I'm not going to run down there and start poking at it with my rapier unless I have to. But maybe some kind of magic might be a great way to stop this thing. And I don't think that's out of,
unreasonable for, anybody
right.
to know. Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been a problem for me because everything's been new that we've run into for me.
Same.
Despite me having a pretty large interest in fantasy. I've read a lot of fantasy novels growing up, and I've always been fascinated by fantasy, high fantasy, that sort of stuff. But I've never heard of any of these things that have been thrown at us in... I don't know if they're unique to D&D or just I haven't ever read anything that's employed these types of creatures, but...
I read through some of the, regular monster manual online one day, and I still don't...
What?
Just for fun. Well, because I was thinking of DMing, remember?
Yep.
So I was reading through it, but,
thinking, are thinking. And
yeah,
crafting.
everybody comment on
It
Twitter
just
that they want
seems-
Elena to DM for
it
us sometime.
seems scary, and I really don't know if I wanted to record it. Anyway. First DMing session being recorded, that's pretty scary, guys. I think
I
think Twitter will agree with me.
Well, you can't do any worse than me.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Again,
Well, we can do a short session off mic just so
Leland
you
is
can get a
so
feel for
good
it.
at modesty. Anyway, basically, that being said, I don't recognize any of the creatures, or don't remember. There's just so many, and there's so much to know. And
Yeah, there's a lot. The Monster Manual is a good bang for your buck. That's a really big book.
you pull from some other manuals too, though, right? Like not.
Oh
just
yeah, I
the-
have.
Yeah.
I got like Valos and Mordekainen's Tome and
There's tons of stuff out
yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many. There's
There's
many things.
other resources.
It's
Right.
kind of fascinating the amount of content that has been written for Dungeons and Dragons. And Dungeons and Dragons is only just one slice of the pie of RPGs, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and or fantasy.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, to wrap it up, I think you can screw that up accidentally. You try your best not to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's we're trying
There's
to catch each other
There's
if we
been lots
metagame.
of
Yeah.
lots of creature lore and things that I've used that are not right or that I've interpreted differently than what is actually printed. And then I kind of go back and like refresh and like, oh, I didn't do that right. Whoop. But it doesn't matter because it's our game. It's
Yeah.
how we're
Right.
doing it, so it doesn't matter. And it's still serving the same purposes and the same plot arcs and the same cool things happening that I want them to, and then that you guys get to experience. And so it all ultimately doesn't matter.
What's a plot arc? I'm just kidding. We'll never get to experience one.
I mean, I guess I would say to you two, if we came upon a Medusa, you have knowledge of what Medusa is.
That would be.
How would you approach
Oh,
it?
I'd
frig.
have to pause for a second and remind
And
myself
Google.
that Falzarin does not
Just
know that, he's potentially going to turn into stone here if he's not careful.
Is that what Medusa does? I feel dumb right now. I don't know what
It's,
Medusa does.
Snake hair lady.
I know snake hair. That's
Greek
all I know.
mythology. Yeah.
What's she do? She turns
She's the
people?
one where she got her head cut off.
I didn't take the Greek mythology course in high school.
Perseus uses shiny shield and turned her to stone. But so that things like that, then you should immediately be like, okay, what do I know about this, Leland? And then I'll get you to do a check, and then I'll apply whatever you roll. And then, so what I would do is I would take that roll, and even if you rolled poorly, I would also weigh it against how well known or infamous
Common,
the
yeah.
monster, right, or common that the monster you're fighting is. And even in a fantasy world, things like dragons and Medusas and these are things that are written about too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if they're ever unsure of how Falzarin or Bryn or Shafter goes or would react to something, and just get a check, and then you got something to go off of at least.
I need to do more checks.
Yeah.
I think the big
Moral of
thing
the
for a
story.
wizard and for Falzarin is if there are monsters that have resistances or immunities to spells that he has, is he could be burning spell slots trying to figure that out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And thematically, you would probably do that.
Right.
Even if you knew
Yeah.
it took
Yeah.
cold
But
damage.
But
you-
mechanically, that's not balanced, and that's why you have the skill checks.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think something I'm learning is that I always forget that I can do skill checks.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
seems like-
Well, I'll start doing a better job of asking you for them.
It would
That
be
works.
helpful for us because,
Yeah.
like, we, after the fact, often are discussing and we're like, we should have done an insight or a perception or.
Well, okay.
And those are.
yes. Now
We don't think of it.
you're right.
Yeah, it's
and
a
there
hard
are,
habit to get into.
And there are and there are times where it doesn't seem appropriate for me to ask you to do.
I know.
In particular, insight and perception.
I know.
Well, yeah, if there's something that if there's a situation where, someone's hiding in a bush and we're walking down the path and you're like, okay,
Well,
you don't
okay,
want to
in
give away
situation-
something.
Sure. In situations like those, that's why passive ability scores exist, right?
Yeah. And I understand that, like, it's different when it's recorded, too.
Yeah.
Because I think just, like, in real life, being noobs to this, it might be a little bit more of a, like, hand holding for a little bit, and then, okay, this many sessions you should know, which maybe we should, but we still have only had so many sessions. Some of them being shorter, too. I don't know. I know it's like 30 episodes.
We've only
but
played 12 times together. Like, we've gotten together for 12 of our sessions to play. Yeah, that's not that many sessions.
in a month in between a session, it's hard to
It's a long
maybe
time.
remember
It's a long
those
time.
little habits, yeah.
Thank
So-
God it is recorded. Otherwise, we'd have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on in the story.
Yeah, it would
that's
be.
so true.
We're kind
It'll be
of
hard.
pampered in that sense.
Yeah.
That we
I
can
mean,
go
you
back and
guys
listen.
have been in a thunderstorm for the last 5 episodes. It's like-
Roll
I think that was the
tape.
last time weather got rolled or something.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then we have 3/4 cover.
It is interesting. We recorded last night, and it was the first time in 5 or 6 weeks.
A long
It-
time.
Almost a
it had
month.
been a while,
Yeah, long time.
We had a lot of vacations and things in there, but this is the closest we've ever came to actually the release of an episode versus where we just started recording.
Yeah.
Yep, we were all
It
caught
is.
up.
We are
listening.
on the knife's edge of running out of content.
Yeah.
We are 3 episodes in the bag, and then this
No, we have
makes 4.
2 episodes in the bag
Oh my gosh, and then this.
because
Yeah,
of that.
thanks to the-
that snafu
And,
we had last night.
On top of that, we recorded for over 2 hours last night, and about an hour of it was not recorded on Bill and I's mic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill and my mic.
Mishaps happened.
So we don't really know what happened, but we lost like a whole episode's worth of content on our end.
Yeah.
That's
so
our first big time of that happening.
this
though.
we don't even
Knock on wood.
have
Yeah.
released yet.
Uh-oh, the
episodes that
wargs
we're
are going to be barking.
talking about right now, right?
Oh yeah, at the time of recording this after party, 28 and 29 have not even dropped yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
We're trying to get ahead, though. That's part
hopefully
of it.
there's no burning listener questions for any of those episodes. I mean, we can talk about them on a future
Yeah, of
We
course.
after
We
party.
could.
Yeah.
I want everyone to get hyped for episode 30 because I'm pretty excited about it.
Woo! Yeah,
It's-
I'm excited to go back to and edit and put it all together.
So
Yeah.
this episode you're talking about, that's not going to be in. That's going to release right after
Episode
this
30 is
after
the
party,
next one after this, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's,
okay.
my name isn't Pep, so it doesn't rhyme like Pepisode, but it's like a Brinpisode.
Brain fun. Is that your first time you've had your one-on-one?
Yeah,
With,
right?
With Leland.
Yeah,
all the rest
'cause
of
I
us
was
have
left
had
out of all the solo stuff.
sessions except for
Yeah,
Brain.
I mean, we had that little on mic, just you and I, for going over those items. But yeah, and this one turned into something pretty significant, and I wasn't expecting it to.
It
well,
changed the course
I didn't
of
know
events.
how long it was going to take, so it ended up being just long enough where we could make it into a bit of a shorter episode, which is good because we clearly need the content.
Yeah, I think we didn't know how long it would take, but
I've certainly. Oh my God, why am I blank on this word?
you can edit out the pause.
Yes,
so don't
it's
worry
all
about
going to
it.
edit out. I would certainly encourage all of your characters, or all of you as players, to think in situations where we can get more of these cool solo full episodes, because it was really fun.
It was
And
cool.
I think it's going to turn out really good.
It surprised me how easily D&D can be like one-on-one with the DM and still work, and it was
Yeah.
really fun. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. Get hyped.
I assume this is something we shouldn't listen to.
It depends. It depends when next time we play.
By the
I
time
guess
it's
it depends.
by
But
the
up to
time it's
Elena.
released, yeah. By the time it's released, I'm not gonna withhold any information I've already decided. But by the time it comes out, we'll have already played another session. I think you guys could probably listen. We'll address that off mic, but yeah, I think that it's something that's really fun, and I hope you guys are able to listen to it and enjoy it. And then I hope you guys get a shot to do this yourself as well, because it's a cool character highlight and a lot of role playing by yourself that's unaffected by idiots like Shaft and stuff. So
Poor Shaft. Just digging into Shaft this episode.
I know, I'm sorry.
I will
Not
say,
John Shaft.
session 30 and 31 are going to be 2 really cool episodes, I think.
Yeah, get hyped. Anyway, I had to like pre-hype it because I think it's gonna be
And that's
cool.
coming off of session 28, which I think is literally my favorite
So
session
cool.
that we've ever had.
It's my favorite too.
Oh, that was such a fun fucking episode to record and play.
So I have a question for the listener. If anybody's going to respond back and let us know what they think about all this hidden information and things between characters. Do they think that adds to the podcast? Is this something that the listener feels is a
Yeah.
good?
Right. Is it working, or are you just as confused who knows what as I am?
No, I think that's a good. I'd be really, really, really interested to hear what people's thoughts are, because we've blathered on numerous occasions now about whether we like it and what we think about it and everything. But it'd be nice to hear some feedback from other people who are listening.
Yeah, I want some fan theories too.
Feedback after episode 30, because it's going to be tight.
I mean, we'll take feedback whenever you want to give it to us.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Something picky.
please hold off on the glut of
Just
feedback as we
pump
get on
my tires.
more.
I need my tires pumped a little bit.
You're gonna have to think up a cool name for that one.
Oh, shoot.
I got one more thing to say.
Yeah.
Happy day after your birthday, Leo.
Oh, yeah.
Happy belated.
And this is gonna be like 3 weeks
Yeah, it's
after
all
by the
right.
time this drops.
Oh yeah.
By the time episode 31 comes out, that we were recording 31 on Leland's birthday.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
that's- yeah,
He wanted
it
to
was-
hang out with us
I blame your birthday for the technical errors, Leland.
on
mishap.
on his 40th birthday and everything.
Oh, and you know what? Actually, that reminds me, we did not hit our goal.
The arbitrary goal, July 15th.
That's all right. Our listeners still love us,
We were very close.
even though they haven't
And it was just
forced their
For your
mom and
birthday.
dad and their grandma and grandpa to download all our episodes.
We were pretty close, yeah. And actually, Emily, your prediction of the outcome of the end of yesterday was like 3 downloads off for your prediction.
So we were
There
only
you go.
16 away. That's pretty good then. That's pretty good. We do all right.
I'm happy with anybody who's enjoying the show,
Wow, we got to set goals for ourselves.
even though my mom won't listen to it.
My goal is to get a
doesn't
participation
love me.
trophy.
No, I don't hand out participation trophies. Either you get first place ribbon or nothing.
I kind of figured that was true.
Well, shall we wrap her up?
Yeah, happy belated,
Yeah, I think so.
Leland.
Thank you very much.
Wrapped up with a bow. Here you go.
Thanks.
This is everything we got you. Can you see it?
Wow, the box is so big.
I know.
Yeah.
It fits.
That's what he said.
What?
That's a perfect place to end it right there.
All right.
And that's our show. Our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. For your own musical inquiries, contact jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. All other music and ambient noise is courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. Visit criticalhitdesign.com for all of your graphic design needs. You can find more info on the characters and world at incorrigibleparty.com. Enjoying the show? Have any questions or rules corrections? Email us. contact@incorrigibleparty.com or reach out on social media. The Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram, @IncorrigiblePar on Twitter, using the hashtag AfterPartyIP for a shout out during our behind the screen after party episodes that drop every 4th release. Happy adventuring! Well, I've been Leland Steele.
I've been.
That was Fitz.
That was our dog. I've been Bill.
I'm Elena. That's Emily.
Okay,
laughing.
hold on. Okay, okay. If
You
you're
gotta
gonna,
read it. This will
Yeah,
be the
right.
after part.
yes, I think so. We may have to redo that whole outro because I can't keep in you hysterically laughing and take out the dog barking.
It's past Emily's bedtime.
Woo, buddy.
Did we have an order to this actually?
Do we have a what?
An order?
Oh, I don't
An
think
order.
so.
We
I don't
never
think
have
so.
an order. It's like this. We have a
Okay.
standing order for resting, which we never
Which we always
remember.
forget, yeah.
Oh, I'm Leland Steele.
I'm
I'm
Bill.
Emily.
What is the freaking order?
I think Leyland should go last because he usually says, and I'm.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
All right, we're done.
So,
So,
John, Emily, Bill, Elena,
Hold on a
Leland.
second. I need.
no, this is definitely got to go at the end at this point.
It's gonna be like a 3-minute blooper reel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we needed a good blooper.
That was
reel.
a perfect one.
I forgot to put a blooper on the end of 8, and I had to re-upload it last night.
Gosh.
Yeah.
What blooper did you choose?
Idiot. We were talking about Bill's nodes.
Oh yeah.
I
Yes.
gotta listen to that. Emily's still laughing. You good?
What's the
We're gonna
order?
do John, Emily, Bill, Elena, Leland.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're wrapping it up. I've been John and Shaft.
I've been Emily.
Oh wait,
I've been Bill and Falzarin.
I'm Elena. I screwed
And
up.
I'm Leland Steele.
I'm the one who said the order and I screwed up. I can't. Maybe we should just leave this all in. This is so ridiculous.
That's too much to leave in. That's too much to leave in.
Professional podcasting right here.
I think it's on brand for sure. I think it's on brand. My face hurts.
Okay, music swells. We're
There
done.
we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll figure it out.
All right.
We're just not
I'm
going to
stopping.
sign off.
Yeah, we've been going 4 minutes after we said let's wrap it up.